Good morning, all. I did all the heavy cleaning last night. It was starting to get dark, and I've already shown you guys the basics of an involved detail cleaning. It's about 6 o'clock now in the morning. I got some sleep, and I'm giving you a shot of the hood. And I'm not sure how well you can tell in the camera, but you can see a lot of hazing, some swirl marks. I'm not sure if it's oxidation causing the paint to fade a little bit, but I'm quite confident that I can get it out. This morning, I'm just going to do a quick video of how I use my Porter cable orbital polisher. There's a good one right there, the hood. You can see the lines in the light. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a tape line down the center of the hood. I'll show you quickly how I use the polisher, how much product I use. I'll buff out the hood, remove the polish, and show you the 50-50. Then I'm going to make another video later on once I'm complete and do a walk around and talk about a few different things. As you can see, I invested in a tripod, so you will be better able to see what I'm trying to demonstrate, and I won't be giving you the finger nearly as much because I'm not paying attention to what my camera hand is doing. So I'm going to pause you right now, get my equipment set up, put on the tape line, and when I'm ready to start polishing, I'll bring you back. Okay, tools for today will be the Hybrid Solutions Precision Platelet One and Done compound. This is a very variable compound as it is pad dependent, meaning that the more aggressive the polisher pad is, the more aggressive the compound is. If you use an aggressive pad, it's going to cut or polish a little harder. If you use a softer, milder pad, it's going to do more polishing and finessing. So realistically, you can use this stuff from really bad paint all the way down to finishing it to being wax ready. Like all the Turtle Wax products, make sure you shake it well before using. And I often shake it up at random times during a detail just to make sure everything stays mixed up and works properly. The second tool is my trusty old Porter Cable 7424 random orbital polisher. I've had this since 2002 and it's been flawless. It's an entry-level machine and it is extremely beginner friendly. About the only way you can hurt your paint with this machine is to take it by the cord, swing it around your head, and bring it down on the hood. It's that easy to use as long as you have a little bit of common sense. Next up, I'm going to show you how much polish to use to get started, which isn't a lot, which means that bottle of One and Done compound will last you for quite some time and many cars. Okay, this is a Lake Country cutting pad. It's a light cutting pad, so it isn't very aggressive, but it is aggressive enough to take care of most mild to moderate and some heavy defects. As far as how much compound to use, just put it over your pad. And that's it. 4 little drops. I'm going to explain most of this before I turn the polisher on because I really don't feel like talking over the machine. There are several different ways to make sure that the compound is evenly distributed over the surface of the panel you're working on. Some people prefer a technique called kissing the finish, where they just kind of plop the polisher down in various areas to leave little puddles of compound all over that section that they're working. I prefer to go in one straight line down the middle of the panel. In this case, it's going to be from driver's side to the center. And then from that point, working front to back, the front end towards the windshield, moving about 25 to 50% overlap on each one of my passes. So every time I cross over that first initial line of compound, I'm picking up more product and making sure that I'm spreading it evenly. What you want to do is do at least 2 front to back and 2 side to side passes initially, and then remove the polish and check your work, see if you're done or if you need to repeat it. And you can see on the right corner of the screen is my removal tile. And once I get to the removal section, I'll explain removal of the product. It's extremely easy and, again, very beginner friendly. So that's all there is to it. Keep your arm speed slow. Very light pressure on the buffer. Let the machine and the polish do the work. Give it a second or two just to kind of set up a little. And then take your microfiber towel and start buffing it off. I've had a couple other YouTube detailers say that this is not the easiest to remove, but it's also not the hardest. And the last two cars that I've done, I found that sort of true. I found that if you put it on too heavy, it's a little more difficult to remove. Or if you let your removal towel become clogged with polish residue, it can make it a little more difficult. So just as you're wiping it, if you start to leave residue behind after the wipe, flip your towel to a clean side, and that takes care of that issue. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick demonstration of removing it. Then I'm going to pause it, pull the tape, and show you the 50-50. And removal is easy as that. Let me pause you. I'll pull the tape and then take the camera loose and show you the 50-50 of the hood. Okay. Here's the hood that I just polished out. As you can see, there are still some scratches and swirls, but not near like it had before. Am I going for perfection? No. Perfection is overrated. I might go over this one more time just to see what else I can clear up. But you got to remember that paint is thin. Every time you polish or compound, you're removing just a little bit of paint. So the less you can compound, the less aggressive you can be, the better off you are and the longer your paint will last. Now for the 50-50. Move it over here, you can see where the tape line was. If I move it so the light is in the way, you can definitely see the difference that that little bit of polishing did. Now I plan on doing this to the entire car, so it's going to go from looking like this to looking like this, and it's that easy. Once I polish and compound the whole car, then it'll be time for wax, which might add a little bit of gloss and depth, but it's not going to be a difference like that. See, I'll be back when I'm complete, give you a walk around and talk about the product he used on the tires that I'm going to really insist that he never use again because it's terrible. I won't name it, but I'll tell you my opinions of it.